Hi, I'm Aaron Milburn, Head of Third-Party Distribution at Citibank. Today's webisode deals with three key industry issues: recruitment, retention, and succession. Now, Citi recognises we aren't a broker, so what we've done is got three industry icons to sit down and give you some helpful tips and advice on how to deal with these three areas. I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome to this instalment of the Advisor's Business Growth and Productivity series, sponsored by Citibank. In this episode, we'll discuss the very topical, timely issues that surround recruitment, retention and succession in the mortgage broking industry. And put simply, that's how do you find good staff, how do you then retain them, and what's your strategy when it finally comes to leave, sell or succeed from your business. There's no right or wrong way to go about it, but one thing's true, get it wrong and it can prove very costly, particularly if you're a smaller operator. To investigate this important trio of issues, we've enlisted some industry heavyweights to share their views and opinions. All different, but all, we'll hope you'll agree, informative. Joining us for this instalment to share their views are three seasoned industry figures, including Darren Little, General Manager of SmartMove, one of the country's leading mortgage brokering advisory firms; Alan Hemmings, General Manager from Oxygen Home Loans, the broking arm of McGrath Real Estate; and Mick McClure, the Managing Director of Buyers Choice Home Loan Advisory Service in Melbourne. Plus, as always, some insightful comments from Citibank's Head of Brokering Distribution, Aaron Milburn.
Darren Little, General Manager, SmartMove. SmartMove is a growth company enjoying immense success. What Darren looks for is that home loan expertise. He waits for the right people and he then partners them with some senior colleagues to mentor them through. It's all about culture at SmartMove.
The challenge is when we rush into recruiting that person to fill that void, sometimes they're rushed into the position, there's not enough lead time for them to get their feet under the desk. They're straight in front of customers, and to be honest, that's not setting either the staff member or the customer up for a great experience. All of our staff work within a team within our brand here. So we have a senior person and then we have a new mortgage advisor that comes in. Before they even see customers, they actually partner up and support the senior staff member. Majority of the time it's around 6 months before they actually get in front of customers themselves. But that gives them a really good opportunity, one, to do things like their MFAA accreditations, their bank accreditations, but also just to get a really good feel and understanding of what the mortgage broker industry is all about. We are a home loan business. We haven't diversified into financial planning. We haven't diversified into insurances. We've absolutely got some great referral partners that we do work with, but we are very focused on being an exceptional home loan experience for our clients. So from a recruitment point of view, that has enabled us to really focus on getting some very targeted staff that either have the home loan experience or alternatively, like I interviewed a potential staff member yesterday, been in a young organisation about 4 or 5 years, really switched on, got a graduate degree, so strong ethic with his learning, but hasn't had any lending background, but his customer service skills were sensational. So that really quite excites me about bringing someone like him into an organisation like us. As our organisation expands, for example, as a classic example, we need some different skill sets to perhaps what we've had in the past. So we really need to focus on recruiting the right people for the right roles, rather than, they're good people. If you get the right people, they're passionate, they're energetic, they want to be here, they want to work, that just comes together for us, and it does work really well. So we don't, if they're Gen Y, Gen X sort of thing, we don't see there's a difference if we get the right people. How we've been able to recruit to date has been through referral, so either through the referral of the staff, referral from our referral partners, or actually what has been working really was actually referral from our customers. So we've got a bit more background on the people, but we haven't gone down the testing track as we speak. There's a generalness. I think there has been quite a bit of that where someone does come in, they do very well, and then they do go out by themselves. We're probably not in that situation here. We've got all our staff. We haven't actually lost any staff through that, and I think that also comes back to make sure we do have really good structures, process, support in place for them, that it's a really good environment for them to succeed. The new person, there's not a lot of revenue coming in year one, say. How we do it here is we certainly invest in that staff member and we do pay a salary. As time goes on, that salary then becomes salary and a commission bonus. Now, in relation to new guys, in, like I say, smaller organisations, the commission model does work really well, but I think we've got to give a leg up to those new starters in that first 12 months. We've got a lot of staff here now, and keeping them informed on what's happening, engaged in what's happening, is really important, and because they want to be part of the success, especially the new staff. So we do work really heavily on keeping everyone engaged. Our mortgage advisors do actually all work in the office, so they actually come to the office every day and work here, sort of thing, and that provides a fantastic opportunity then for them to learn and develop. And I look at some of our new brokers that we've got coming through at the moment, with that support, encouragement that they have around them from high-performing brokers. Yes, we've got a high-performance culture, but how do we get that through the new brokers? And that's by working together. And we do work as a whole team. So, for example, on a Mondays, there's generally quite a lot of leads come in from people buying on the weekends and those sort of things. We have no issue. It's not about the one person grabbing all the leads. It's about who can help the customer the most. And it's quite a giving environment. So if someone takes a lead this week, they might get a lead next week, sort of thing. And it works quite well. We recruit here very geared towards the relationship side, because we do have a very separate support team that does the administration. Do I think that's the best? Absolutely, because as you can build, you can get scale, you can get process, and you can have a very sustainable business that way. However, when you're starting out, or you're a one or two man operation, really encourage you to certainly look at splitting out those processing tasks and having an administration type support, so that you can have your focus on your customer. Just completed our next 5 years business plan, which we've been presenting to our major business partners, and that's very much a very calculated position on where we're going as a business, but also how many staff we need to do that. When do we need to recruit extra staff? When we get to a certain amount of leads, we need to recruit another mortgage advisor. So we're very calculated in our planning, and we need to be. So for a broker that doesn't have a plan, I think even worse performance on a plan, you're still going to achieve better without having one at all. I'm a strong believer in efficiencies, and I look at a lot of brokers that are, say, single operators. How do they either one, exit themselves, or two, how do they become more efficient? And that's absolutely, whether you merge, whether you do joint ventures, that may help, one, with succession plan, but two, also it's an exit strategy, which I think is really critical for the industry, because there's a lot of people that, how do they exit when they do want to retire? Are you in it for the right reasons? And I know it's easy to say, if you're not passionate about it, get out, but I don't think you'd be doing yourself, your brand, or your customers the best if you're not passionate about the role.
Darren Little believes that any new recruit should be teamed with a mentor. Hire the right person for the right role, not because you like somebody. Always retain your best people. Create the right environment so they will stay. Salary is a better option than commission for new starters. Recruit early. Have the team in place for when your business grows.
Mick McClure, Buyer's Choice. Mick's a passionate believer of the mentoring program. Mick looks for passionate, dynamic salespeople, not necessarily those with home loan expertise, that he can work with and mould into tomorrow's brokers. Because let's face it, they are the custodians of our future.
We will see 100 people and recruit 15. The skill that they must have, which is really for them to have and appreciate, is that whole piece about, can I handle being self-employed? Do I know what that means? Not getting paid every Friday or Thursday. Can I financially sustain myself while I build this up, which may take 6-12 months? That's the magic ingredient. So once they understand that, and we actually send people around to do their research and say, look, go and visit all the others, make sure you understand the industry, because it's really them selecting us more than us selecting them. We haven't found many Gen Ys. We've probably recruited in the last 12 months about 7 or 8. They've been awesome, right? So, but they get it, right? So they're not the stereotypical Gen Y. They've got a business head, and they are thinking, good at networking, good at networks, good at social media. They bring a whole different vibe to the industry. They go about it in different ways, so they're not traditional, but we're seeing them getting terrific results. So of the 5, all of them up and running and writing good business within 6 months. The important part is that they have got their head completely around the whole self-employment piece, and that's the hardest hump to cross. We're finding it a little harder to bring in the experienced broker. A, there's not as many leaving the bank, and B, brokers who are already out there and established, they tend not to switch aggregator groups or franchises because it's too hard to do. So we have focused very much on the people with less experience, but having said that, we pay them the same commission as the experienced broker from day one. But they tend not to write much in the early months, but what we're finding is, because remember this is a commission-based industry, by the time they've finished their program with us, they're writing double the average of the industry at the 2-year marks. We believe in diversification, but by relationships. The likelihood that a broker, is a financial planner and a broker, I don't believe you can do both well. So what we form is good, solid relationships with other service providers that the brokers can call on for assistance in that area, because a full-time broker is a full-time broker and there ain't no time for anything else. We encourage everyone to do a business plan when they first join the industry and review it every year, because having a structured plan, I go and do some network on Mondays. I do appointments on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I don't do night-time appointments except for Thursdays, whatever. The successful broker has a really strong routine. And I just think that's vital, because again, many brokers, if not most brokers, work from home. Not just in our model, but in most. So if that's the case, motivation, self-motivation and discipline, enormously important. We do have this program to bring the new people in, and we want to marry them to the older so that they've got options to have their businesses serviced rather than sell. I'm not seeing in the industry or internally within us any appetite for people to sell their business. We want our business to go on forever and ever, but for our individual brokers, I think most of them, if they could get a terrific multiple because they've got a really organised business, that would be attractive. No one is in that situation at this point. And I don't know, I haven't met too many brokers that are. Where, the father and son team, the son has come into the business and been in it for many years, so the transition is easy. But to suddenly, say, oh no, it's Jenny's business, I don't know that's not necessarily going to guarantee success. So I really think you've got to transition your succession, so bring your successors in early, let them work in the business with you, be seen by your clients for several years. Customer needs to feel that they're still loved and being looked after and supported. This happened with our own accountant. Accountant sold to a bigger business, all of a sudden we're dealing with some other bloke, never heard of him. It doesn't work.
Mick McClure says that most brokers are self-employed. Ask yourself, can you handle being self-employed? Make sure potential new candidates understand the industry. Age is irrelevant. Always look outside the industry for new recruits. Plan succession so there are no shocks to the business.
Alan Hemmings, General Manager of Oxygen Home Loans. Oxygen Home Loans continues to enjoy year-on-year growth and success. Alan favours on-the-job training, technical expertise, and looks for hungry and passionate people.
I think some people end up putting someone on because they just want someone there and it might not be the right fit. I've done it in the past, in past roles, where you settle for someone and not really sure that they're the best candidate for the role, but you don't want to wait and leave the position vacant for too long because it can impact on business. The first thing is the person's got to have some personal skills. They've got to be able to build relationships. We're in a sales industry. So having that ability to walk into a room, meet someone for the first time, build rapport very quickly, but then someone who can build that technical knowledge around what we do as well. So having some understanding of finance is vital, or having the ability to quickly pick it up, I think is vital. Being able to build their own business networks, those types of things, some of that may have been lacking in the past, but I think that's now changing as we evolve as an industry. Sometimes, particularly if you need someone to come in and pick up a business and run with it straight away, you're looking for that person who's got the experience. But if you've got the time where you can nurture someone, then you may look to bring on someone with a bit less experience and train them up and work with them that way. So all they they might be an experienced broker who's just looking to grow their business and looking at other opportunities. I've got a few Gen Y guys in the business. I tend to find that they're young and hungry. They're willing to listen and learn. By 2015, Gen Y will be our biggest consumer group. So understanding them and having them in the business, I think is going to be vital. We've actually just put on a young guy who's only 22. And one of the things I've said to him is you're going to have to overcome sitting in front of a 40-year-old person and being able to talk to a home loan. Provided you've got that ability to build that rapport, learning the technical knowledge and have the confidence to be able to answer any question there and then is going to be vital. And I think that technical stuff can be taught and learnt, and you become an expert. And that's what most people, when they go and see a broker, is what they're looking for. You want to be a very good broker, but you may not have the admin skills. So how do we support you so you're out there doing the bit that you like and not doing the stuff that bogs you down and things like that. So I think they can do both. And then as they get scale in their business, it becomes a case of they just simply physically can't do both. The team that we've got are all self-employed people, so it's in their interest to grow their business because it means they earn more income. So part of what we do is go out there, I go out there and talk to them about their business, where it's at and where they want to take it, and work through plans on how we can get them to those goals. Before you even go into business, part of your business planning is what's your exit strategy. So you're not getting into a business and then 10 years down the track going, okay, how do I get out now? You've got an understanding when you go in how you're going to get out. And for some of the longer term members of the industry, that's probably not happened, so they're now sitting there thinking, well, what do I do next? If it's a continuing revenue stream, you're not going to sell the book. If it's, I just want to cut it and walk away, then selling your book to someone is probably the best way to go. With most of the aggregators now, you can go all the way up to basically lodging the application on an iPad. So the ability for you to use that iPad and sell through that iPad is going to be vital. Within the next 6 to 12 months, you'll be able to actually scan documents and lodge the application. So that technology piece, I think, is going to be vitally important. There are people that are in our industry that hate using computers, let alone iPads. So I think that's going to be really important. Social media and understanding marketing will also become very important. Certainly LinkedIn, Facebook, those types of tools are going to be vital for marketing.
Oxygen's Alan Hemmings says never put yourself in a position where recruitment needs to be rushed. Successful candidates need good personal skills. Staff require training. Make sure you have the time and the programs in place. If your customers are Gen Ys, recruit staff to match. And understand where the business will be in 10 years' time.
Thank you for joining us on this webisode. I hope you've taken at least 1 or 2 helpful tips that you can employ into your business. Like I said at the start, Citi is not a broker and simply doesn't profess to be. What we want to do is get the expertise from the industry through a forum that you can also learn from. I hope you've enjoyed again today and look forward to seeing you out within the industry.